Hi everyone, welcome back. So it's 2 days in a row the miners are kind of outperforming Bitcoin a little bit here, which is kind of nice to see, and maybe of things to come. We'll take a look at that. But thank you so much for coming in. We'll take a look at, obviously the big story today was Cipher closing on their 300 megawatt site. And I probably should have pulled in also the CEO's comments there on Twitter. I forgot to do that. Maybe we'll do that when we talk about it as well. What else do we have here? That's basically it. Miners had a great day today. They had a great day yesterday compared to Bitcoin, so we'll talk about it a little bit. Are the miners starting to front run a little bit? We'll get into Cipher news, get into some other metrics that I've started kind of pull in as well, and we'll get into your guys' Q&A. So it should be easy day today. All right, but as always, you guys know the drill. Sound like a broken record here. Not financial advice for entertainment only. Please do your own research, and I'm invested in following coins and companies. Full disclosure down below that as well. Hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's take a look at Bitcoin here in the miners for today. So Bitcoin actually had a pretty good day. Didn't start out that great in the morning, but it definitely turned out much better towards the end of the day here, which was nice to see here. So we can see that Bitcoin was up approximately 1.47% today. It closed above our one resistance line at 63,700. Also closed above the 200 simple day moving average as well, which is now in the green here on the line. You can see the red line before that. So that's good news there. We closed at 64,700. 64,272 is where we closed. We're up a little bit here now again. We are getting some resistance here. Looks like right around 64,750 roughly. We came there also, came back down. We came up to that today, and we'll see if that gets blown away tomorrow maybe. We'll have to look. Nonetheless, this is good, right? We closed above the resistance. We closed above the 200 simple moving day average as well. We're staying above that right now because we came down close to that as well on the new day for Wednesday. So things are looking pretty good here. So going back to my original thought, and I posted this yesterday when I saw the miners were actually in the green for the most part and Bitcoin was down actually a little bit. I posed the question on Twitter, are the miners starting to front run Bitcoin? And there was a lot of, well, not a lot. There were a few comments about that it's not because of that, it's because of something else. But I started seeing this thing happen where we're battling with the resistance, not only the resistance but also the 200 moving average for quite a few days. So I was kind of thinking that eventually we will break through this. I didn't know exactly when it was going to happen, but I knew it was going to happen. And then so we saw miners going up yesterday, Bitcoin was going down, miners were up today, Bitcoin was down in the morning as well, and the miners continue to go up here. So I'm starting to think maybe it is now getting close to that time of the year where the miners will start outperforming Bitcoin, whereas before we saw, you know, Bitcoin going up a little bit here, the miners were lagging, or Bitcoin going down and the miners were going down even more. My thoughts on this, I think we're starting to see the reversal on this, where the miners will start maybe front running Bitcoin some more as time progresses, especially as we get closer to October and into October as well on that one, because when we look at our current numbers here for September, we're up 8.8% on the month, which is starting to look pretty good here. Right, historically, September has not been a great month for us, but now we have potentially the 2 years in a row again, 2023 and 2024, where we might be in the green with September, whereas we had it also in 2015 and 2016. So that'll be interesting. It should be fun. We'll have to see where things end up at for the end of the month here. We only have, 7 days left roughly on it. But that's it on that. Miners, like I said, had a really good day. You can see Bitcoin was up 1.4%, almost 1.5%. And the miners have outperformed. ANY was up 2.3. Argo was actually flat on the day. BitDigital was up 4.6, so pretty much almost a triple there. BitDeer was up 2.8, almost a double. Bitfarms was at 7.8. That's like what a 4x on top of where Bitcoin was roughly, maybe even 5x on it. Cipher was up 15%. Cipher had great news today come out that they closed on the site, and there's also some interest from hyperscalers at that site. So that's why the stock pumped here nicely, 15% up today. So that was way up, like 7x compared to Bitcoin. Cleanspark was up 5x or 5%. So that was roughly 2.5x on it. CORZ was up 3.2. So that was a 2x. Digihost was up 4.5, right? DMG was up 6.97. Hive was up 8%. HUT was up 8%. IREN, nice day today as well, 13.24% on that one. Mara was up just a little bit, 2.12%. Mawson was up 4.27. Riot was up 2.73. Stronghold was up strong today as well, 8.57. And Wolf was up nicely also, 9.82%. And then some of the ETFs were up nicely. WGMI was up 6.8. BitQ was up 4. DAP was up 4.2. And BKCH was up 4.9. So it was a great day. And we'll see if this continues going forward. I am optimistic that it will, but we'll see. on that one. Okay, so that's it on the miners here. Let's take a look at quickly the network hash rate, where that's at, especially with Bitcoin going up here today. On the 7-day, it's up a little bit here from where we were yesterday, 639 exahash. On the 30-day average, we'll look at that as well, and we are still kind of coming down a little bit, 641, but that is going to start popping up as well. Okay, so that's it on that one. Let's take a look at the story that we do have here for Cipher. And what do we got here? So Cipher Mining announces the closing of its acquisition of Barber Lake 300 megawatt data center site. And today they announced it has completed the acquisition of the recently announced Barber Lake site in West Texas for a cash payment of $67.5 million and a variable fee of $3 per megawatt hour. So I'm guessing that's 3 cents for the initial 5 years after the energization of the site. The site features 300 megawatts of front-of-the-meter capacity, a newly constructed, fully energized high to mid-voltage substation, and all necessary regulatory approvals. So this is great. As part of the transaction, Cipher has acquired the 250 acres of land surrounding the substation and completed agreements necessary to participate in ERCOT market. So that's also really good news there. This is a quote from Tyler Page, the CEO of Cipher. "We are delighted to close on the acquisition of our new Barber Lake site, which is ideally suited for either hosting a large HPC customer or mining Bitcoin. The site is immediately available with an existing high-quality substation and all essential characteristics necessary to develop a large-scale HPC data center. So you have to build it out. It has all the connects and everything else, but I believe there's no buildings on there right now. Large sites with these characteristics are extremely rare, and we have already received interest in the site from multiple hyperscalers. Hyperscalers you can think of AWS from Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Oracle, Meta possibly as well in there, and maybe even CoreWeave, who knows. But my thoughts on this is they probably would not be looking to partner. That's my thoughts on it. I could be wrong on this, but knowing the hyperscalers, I believe that they want to just own the sites. They want to have full control over it. They don't want to lease or anything like that. But even if the hyperscalers are interested, this could be an easy flip for them where they could possibly make on it, double for what they paid on it potentially, right? Especially as all of these guys are looking for quick access to megawatts, quickly to build out. If you build out, you might be able to build out in the next 9 to 12 months if you get all the approvals and everything else. Probably more like 16 months to 18 months maybe, and then get your setups in there. Especially if you're building out like a tier 3 data center or something like that. So that is definitely very, very interesting there. Okay, continuing on here. Cipher says, "We sold a portion of our Bitcoin treasury to fund the majority of this purchase and believe we have exchanged one rare and valuable asset for even a more rare and more valuable asset." I can't disagree with that. "An immediately available large-scale interconnected site with plenty of land." The reason I disagree with this is megawatts can be brought online through more power stations, more nuclear power stations, or even micro nuclear power stations, right? We just saw this week that Microsoft partnered with, it's going to be leasing the 3 Mile Island site, which has like a 800 megawatt nuclear power generation system going there. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I think the hyperscalers will be looking to buy this out, not partner potentially, but we'll see. And then also, as far as why I don't agree with this, that they exchanged one rare asset. I think Bitcoin's more rare than megawatts right now, because like I said, you can get more megawatts, but you can't get more Bitcoin. Let's see here. Continuing on here, we constantly assess the optimal capital allocation for our growth strategy and are thrilled to close a deal that we believe represents an ideal use of our appreciated Bitcoin treasury holdings, said Tyler Page, Cipher CEO. Okay, so yeah, I think if they can, do a nice flip on it, quickly get a 2 or 3x on it, that's great. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if they get any kind of partnership with hyperscaler. I'm guessing not, but like I said before, I could be wrong on this. It's all very new in this space, and a lot of stuff is very fluid, and we'll see what it comes out. And then continuing on here, with this acquisition and other recently announced purchases, Cipher's portfolio will grow to more than 2.5 gigawatts across 10 sites, which is a very, very nice portfolio there as well. So great news by them. And then let me see if I can find Tyler Page's tweet here. Let me see here really quick. I'm going to go X really quick. X and look for Tyler Page. Tyler Page. There it is. Okay. So if we look at, where is this page? Okay. Does he have anything new here? Okay. 4 buildings and team. I wonder if he didn't, let's see. Maybe he put it under the Cipher announcement. Maybe that's where it's under. Let's see here. At Cipher mining. Let's see if you put it under there. Complete acquisition, show more. Let's see, do we have? I don't see it here. So, sorry, I can't find it right now, but he did commented about, people are going to be asking about the hyperscalers and things like that. I can't find it right now. But it was earlier on today. I'm not sure where it's at. I wonder if he responded to somebody else, but I did see it. I can't find it now, so we'll call it a day on this part. Now, as far as some other data, some metrics and things like that, I started looking into what could the miners be making here at the end of the year if they actually reach their goals for self-mining, hash rate growth and everything like that. So I've gotten so far Bitfarms, Cleanspark, IREN, Mara, Riot, and Cipher in here. I'm going to zoom this in for you guys so you guys can see this maybe a little bit better on it. Let's go a little bit, maybe go 200%. There we go. So you guys can see it here. I still have to pull in a couple other miners as well into it, just to get a fair number of them in there and have it fair for everybody. But based on just looking at right now and the ones that I did pull in here, BTC average, I'm guessing maybe it will be around 95,000 by the end of the year for December. Average hash rate, I think, is maybe a little higher. Let's go with 750 exahash on it really quick, and that kind of gives us different numbers here. But Bitfarms getting to 21 exahash, Cleanspark getting to 37, IREN getting to 31, Mara to 50, Riot at 37, I think is also what they're planning on getting to. Cipher, I believe it's 13 or 14. I can't remember. I was doing this off my memory. I have to look it up, actually. But you can see the miner speed doesn't really matter, and neither does the miners. Just the exahash really matters here. What they could be generating here on average, more or less, for 30 days. We're looking at Bitfarms 35 million, Cleanspark 63, IREN 53, Mara 85, Riot 63, and Cipher at 22. That is if all these guys run for 30 days, which we know is not going to be the case here historically. I could see Bitfarms, Cleanspark getting close to that. IREN, same thing. Mara is questionable. Mara, I would say maybe closer to like 27, 26 days on average with them. So bringing that down a little bit. Riot, I mean, the way Riot's running right now, we would say like 16, 18 days. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they might get more uptime, so we'll just say 22 days out of the month here. Cipher is always pretty good as well on theirs. So that's kind of where things look at it. Let me know if there's something else you guys want to see in this as well. Like I said, I'm not done with this. I just started doing this today, so I just thought I'd share it really quickly with you guys as well. It's not even in the title of the video or anything like that, but just something that I wanted to take a look at where things might be with Bitcoin price, average hash rate, and then as far as what their installed hash rate could be by the end of the year and where the revenues could be for them at the end of that month. So if Bitcoin continues to go up much higher, I mean, you're looking, we could possibly multiply that times 12 and get an average of maybe what they could be generating in revenue for the full year or so. Okay. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that, and if you guys want to see any other metrics in there. I could try and figure out what would their cost be per petahash or exahash also going forward based on historical data from Q2 results. I'll maybe try and do that. When I do have this done, I'll probably get this done over the weekend here, and we'll go over it at that point maybe. Okay. Other than that, let's take a look at quickly the enterprise value of the miners as well, how that has changed today because the miners had a nice day today. The only thing that really changed here on this is the current hash rate. You can see now that Marathon is valued lower than Cipher. Cipher had a great day today, was up nicely on that one. And then you can see it here also in the future hash rate that Cipher is now more of a value than Marathon as it is on that as well. That's basically the changes on it here. So that is it. Not much else happening here today on it, which is kind of nice, kind of easy day. So let's get into your guys' Q&A side of things here. As always, you guys know Patreon members get access to all my spreadsheets. The link for that is down in the description. And the reason the room behind me or my little dungeon studio is green is in support of the miners having nice 2 days in green. So I'm in solidarity with them. Okay, well, let's get into your guys' Q&A here, and we'll see what else we got going on here. See, Victor C. Question, do you think, I should probably put this up. Question, do you think Mara and Cleanspark will eventually join AI HPC? I think Mara is more likely. They brought in 2 board members that have HPC AI experience, I believe, recently. So I think maybe they're more likely to do it. We haven't heard. I have to watch the HC Wainwright video with them. I posted a link to that in the Discord server for the Patreon members. If you guys are part of that, you'll get the link for that to the video directly without having to log in. So I got to take a look at that. I may look at that tonight and see if there's any hints of them possibly getting into HPCI, but in the past it hasn't been the case. Let's see, Sebastian, what was Cipher stock-based compensation on Q3 compared to IREN? Well, let's see if we can find that out. Let's see if I have that in data really quick. Bear with me while I pull that up. So let's go to IREN here first. IREN, I know it was pretty low, I believe. IREN here, this is based on, well, they're at end of fiscal year 2024. Let me see compensation if I have it up here or not. I don't. Let's look to see if we can find it in here. Share-based payments, expenses, employee benefits expenses 22. That's for the full year. So for Q4, which would have been our Q2, it was 9.3 million and 6 million. So let's just say employee benefit expenses. Let's just go with 9.3 million here for them. Cipher, let's see what we got for Cipher if they brought it out. Or let's see, depreciation, compensation, benefits was 16 million. Not sure how much of that was actually share-based compensation. They don't split that out. It looks like they keep it all in one. We could possibly look at their, let's see, change in fair value. Do I have it in there? Nope, I don't. No, let's see if I got it up here maybe. No, I don't. So, no, let's see if we can maybe pull that up. Let's go here really quick. Search for it. Share-based, nope, share-based, nope. Employee compensation maybe? Employee repurchase of common shares to pay employee withholding taxes. What else do we have here? Employee compensation as of June. Employee compensation was 3.4. Okay. I wonder, so let me see here. 3.4. What else do we have it? We don't have it here. So 3.4 is what they're stating there. And what do we have them at up here? Where was it at? Assets. No, I don't want that. I want revenues. Compensation 3.4. So would have been like 9 million also roughly? No, 13 million in stock base. Is that correct? That's what they're reporting. I don't know. But it's tough. I'd like them to break it down. I think that's better than trying to figure it out, going back and forth between the different going into the actual financials and trying to figure it out. I like it when they actually report it here, but not all of them do, unfortunately. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. Let's go back. I could probably find it. It would just take me a little while, and I don't want to waste everybody's time here right now. What else we got here? Okay, with Bitfarms and Riot truce, do you think it's inevitable Riot buys Bitfarms? By the way, I'm a Bitfarms holder. I don't think so, no. Riot's not going to overpay for it, and they would have to overpay for it in order to get it, so I don't think that's happening. What else? Aside from Bitfarms, what other miners are still undervalued? Oh, there's quite a few. IREN, Cleanspark is undervalued. Riot, Hive. Who else? Marathon, I would say, is also undervalued a little bit. Riot, I talked about Riot already. Cipher as well. Both, I think, is a little bit fairly valued to maybe overvalued right now. Let's see. John Kurt says China's economic reform today and in the past cycles has been a positive for risk assets. Other nations will follow. We've been waiting for 3 years for this coming bull market, and all systems are a go. Yeah, I saw that today. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, this is going to be a good run here. Okay. Hey, so we'd love your perspective on Wolf. Seems to be doing much better compared to other miners for months now. Do you think it'll continue to be the leader when BTC hits new all-time highs this cycle? The only way it could continue to be a leader is if they actually have a HPC AI customer that is going to be using their sites, or they're going to be getting acquired by by somebody maybe. That would be the only way. If they don't, I would expect the stock to take a pretty big hit because it's been running up because of the potential and gossip and all that stuff for them having an HPC AI play there. Let's see, Cleanspark got to be the most undervalued now. If you look at enterprise value, it is looking like it, especially for their future hash rate growth. I think it is right now as well. Let's see. Para says, I'd argue it's still Bitfarms and IREN. Well, let's take a look at it. We just looked at it here recently, just a couple minutes ago, but I already forgot where things we're looking at. I got too many things in my head. Enterprise value. Okay, let's take a look at it. Based on enterprise value, future hash rate, we got Cleanspark, Riot being tied for the most undervalued, followed by Iris, Hive, and actually, well, Bitfarms is now lower than them by just 1 million here, it looks like. So it would be Cleanspark, Riot, and Bitfarms are the most undervalued. Then you would have Iris and Hive as well on top of it, based on future hash rate growth, where they're going to. Okay. Back to the Q&A side of things. Cleanspark announces 26 exahash has online recently and 5 exahash higher year-end target, and the stock doesn't move. IREN announces they are a week early on their 20 exahash online, and they spike 13%. Yes, IREN has also not come out with that they are adding 300 million more shares to the company coffers, I guess you could say, in order to use later on for dilution and growth and things like that. So I think that's what's been keeping Cleanspark down here. Was Cipher's explosion today just based on the completion of the site news? Wasn't the site announced a while ago, or is it based on the people thinking that they will get it? Yeah, it's based on people thinking they will get a HPC deal there. Okay. Hi, so where do you see IREN Cleanspark stock price of BTC reaches 100,000? At that point, I would see them at least getting between 3 and 5x higher from where they are right now. It's almost like it'd be a little bit less than 2x, but roughly a 2x for Bitcoin. So I would see them getting somewhere between 3 and 5x potentially. Let's see. Question for Seb: can MicroStrategy keep it up? Yeah, as long as Bitcoin continues to go up, they will definitely keep going up. But I think eventually, and Mike actually says the same thing, that eventually the miners will outperform MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is typically like a 2 to 3x at most on Bitcoin going up. Let's see, Roger says, yeah, something fishy with Cleanspark, but I believe it will blaze past everyone when the time comes. I also think the same thing. I don't know if it's going to blaze past everybody, but I think it will do extremely well. John says, congrats to your dad for killing it with CORZ all in by around. Yeah, it was right around there. He bought some at like 40 some odd cents also. He was thinking about buying it at like 8 cents, 5 cents, whenever it was way down there, but we talked it over. I'm like, you just never know. The company's was in bankruptcy at that time, and we just had no clear path on how they're going to get out of it. But things definitely changed around a lot quicker. So, you can always look back and say, I should have done this, but you really can't do that because it's just you're beating yourself up on it. You did the right thing, but yeah, he's really happy with it, and he's doing really good. Let's see. CORZ did so well and didn't drop like others. Yeah, that helps having a couple $1 billion contract with somebody for 12 years. Why is Riot so slow? It's literally underperforming BTC when other miners are going up, and this 2 after Riot has been the worst performing for the past 2 years. I think it's a couple of things. One, I think three things come to my mind. One is the share-based compensation they've had over the last 2 quarters. That has not been great. Well, it's been great for them, not great for the look on shareholders. The other thing was the uptime. That has to improve much more. It's been bad over the last 18 to 24 months. And then the other thing was the Riot trying to buy out Bitfarms. I think that was also a bad optic there. How high Hut 8 can do if Bitcoin's at 180,000? That's a tough one because they are partnering with Bitmain to host the machines there with the option to possibly buy them, right? So they do have that. We don't know if they're going to do that. They have older machines right now as it is, not much hash rate as it is right now, not much hash rate growth for themselves. They do have managed services that they do hosting. They also have data centers they manage. It's hard to figure that out, how much of an impact that will have. But Bitcoin going up, how much will they actually get for it? Multiple? I don't know. That's a tough one. Hi, Seb. According to my calcs, I got IREN hitting 30 exahash in late November and not end of December. Do they have the site and the computers ready to go? I believe they have. The sites are building out still. The computers are supposed to be, or the ASICs are supposed to be coming in. They said, I think, next month and the following month. So as long as they can build out fast enough, they could possibly get to the 30 exahash in December. And I think they said 31 exahash now by the end of the year. Let's see. David Wallet says, Seb, November 9th, SPY broke all-time high, then chopped for 2 weeks before skyrocketing. After that, 2 weeks. BTC also went crazy. Miners followed. SPY broke out last Thursday. Good chance we're 2 weeks away from miners. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Seb, any penny stocks, microcap miners you can can deep dive on? Would make for an interesting episode. We would throw a couple $100 at each for fun, and maybe one does 100x. To be honest with you guys, there's not much interest in the smaller miners. Anytime I talked about the smaller miners, the viewership was down tremendously. So that's why I was covering a lot of smaller miners. I was covering Argo, DMG, Digihost, Mawson, Sphere 3D, Stronghold as well. But eventually cut those out from like the day-to-day things that I cover them just like once a month or twice a month. That's it. So there are those. You could also look at like Griffin. Who else is in there that's small right now? Can't think of any other ones. There is another one. Sato is another one. Right? And you can put it into across those couple there. You know, if it goes up 100x, you're going to do really well with $100 in each one of those. What is Cleanspark's all-in cost to mine BTC? I think it was like 30-some, 40-some thousand. I can't remember exactly where it's at. Let's see. Sem Food says, hi, Seb. Looks like Riot, sleeping giant. Any thoughts? They might be a sleeping giant. I keep saying this. Riot has a lot of potential. I just believe it's their operational uptime that is having an impact on the stock price. If they can fix that, I think they will do much better going forward. But can they fix that? It is yet to be determined. Yet to be seen, I guess you could say. Let's see. Bitfarms update 13 plus exahash, or I'm disappointed to be honest. So you're talking about September numbers. Yeah, I'd like to see them get to 13 exahash or close to that. That's on microcaps like Annie, Mawson, Stronghold at 64. I haven't. Well, I mean, some of them did okay. I personally don't have any of those guys because they're lacking the growth. Stronghold's getting bought out by Bitfarms anyways, so that might kind of pick up there on that one. Let's see. British Huddle said he thought MicroStrategy would dump when the ETFs got approved, but obviously he was wrong. A lot of people are saying that the miners are going to dump also because of the ETFs, right? I wasn't one of those. I was thinking that things would actually be pretty good because you have two different types of investors at that point. You have the ones that love the hyper volatility that you get with Bitcoin miners, and then you have the people that want to just have a little bit of a percentage of their maybe retirement account or Roth IRA or 401k, whatever it might be, and they put it in that. It's much easier doing that way. Okay. Let's see. Love the new charts. Maybe a second column showing cost to mine. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. Kind of what is the cost to mine per petahash or something like that. Trying to figure that out. But always the data is always going to be a couple months back. Right, we're looking back at end of Q2, which was June numbers here for them. So we can kind of extrapolate some of the data and put it into the forward-looking numbers as well. Okay. I bought CORZ at 6, only 300 shares, and I regret not buying more. Yeah, I bought a little bit more around there as well. My average, I think, was around 6 something as well. What did I buy at that point? About like $3,000 worth it. It's up like close to 100% up now, roughly. So that's been doing pretty good. Wish I would have been but up more, but I didn't have the cash, so it is what it is. Maybe my dad will share with me some of his winnings. Okay, what else we got here? Do you think Bitfarms will start to move up now based on the recent news? It seems like it. I mean, it had a pretty good day today compared to Riot. Riot was kind of lagging there, but Bitfarms had a good day, so maybe. Question is, core buy at the current prices? Thanks. I think it is. I think with the revenue they're going to be generating next year, we don't know exactly when, but it's going to be in the first half with the retrofit of the data centers for CoreWeave. And if CoreWeave can get the data center up and running, basically, the servers in there and up and running quickly, they're going to start generating revenue from it. So that should be a big boom for them there. So maybe right now the price is kind of getting to where it might be eventually. But yeah. I think they're going to do very well going forward. The next hurdle for Core is going to be, one, to replace some of their older ASIC machines, get them newer ones, improve their hash rate there, and also to build out their portfolio of maybe HPC customers as well there. Let's see, Roger, do you believe in October? I do, yeah. Historically, it has done very well. If it doesn't do well this year, it's going to be not going to be good. Let's see. I think Bunt today added 2 million shares to his stash of Bitfarms per disclosure in market. Oh, okay. Well, that's bullish on that one. Okay. Seb, do you think we breach 68,000 by this Friday? Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm not a TA guy here. Let's see. What do we got here on Bitcoin? What are we looking at? RSI, let's take a look at it here really quick. RSI is still looking pretty good on the daily. On the weekly, it's definitely low. It can definitely still run up more. On the 4 hour, looking pretty good. We went up, came down. We're up a little bit here again, but we're at lower RSI, higher price a little bit. So that's looking pretty good. On the 1 hour chart, where are we at? RSI is at the same spot it was back here. So that's looking pretty good, and price is actually higher. So possibly, it's not too far off. We're at 64,000. You get to 68,000, we need, what, 3,500 or something like that. I think it might be doable. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, so Robert says, I shorted FTT and Shiba Inu. I could have made life-changing wealth, but it was play money and it made like $450. Okay. Do you see the next cycle playing out similar to this one? Got in late on this one. Would like to have one more solid opportunity. I would love to have another opportunity like this, and we will find out after this cycle. It's already been a different cycle. I've said this before. We had a new all-time high in Bitcoin before the halving event, so it might be a different cycle. It might be an extended cycle where we go up for longer than the typical 12 to 18 months after the halving event. If that's the case, it's going to be interesting. As you have more institutions, more adoption of Bitcoin and everything else, the volatility should decrease, which is kind of what I'm expecting. So what if Bitcoin only goes down into the bear market only 30, 40% instead of the historical 50, 60, 70, 80% down, and miners go down 90%? So we'll have to wait for that. It's hard to tell right now. Why hasn't Cleanspark updated their investor deck to their expansion plans beyond 50 exahash by the end of 2025? Seems like it will happen closer to mid Q2. I'm not sure. I know that they have already bought machines to get to 50 exahash. Maybe once they look at what is else out there. But I think as Bitcoin price starts going up higher, it's going to be more costly to buy infrastructure, data centers, the things that they've been buying here recently. Which maybe that's why they don't want to forecast yet their growth. That could be a possibility. Not sure. Let's see. Hi Seb, do you know about what BTC price do the miners start severely overperforming BTC? Do you think they'll happen above 74K or BTC really needs to crack 100,000? I'm talking about the parabolic moves. Parabolic moves, I think, will start happening once we break possibly 70,000 to 74,000 mark. I think somewhere around there. Once that happens, then I think bull run is on. People are just going to be trying to get as much of the shares as they can possibly, and then we're going to see miners going up much higher. Any thoughts on Stronghold? Stronghold is being bought out by Bitfarms. I think some people are saying it's maybe better to buy Stronghold shares than it is Bitfarms. I would rather hold Bitfarms shares right now because just in case the deal doesn't go through, I still got to buy Bitfarms shares, right? And at that point, Stronghold shares will tank. So that's kind of my little way of, I wouldn't say hedging. It's just protecting what I do have on it. But I don't see any reason why the Stronghold deal shouldn't go through, but you just never know on that one. Let's see here. Seb just wanted to thank you for putting up with all the heathens. Have you considered doing analysis and metrics for HPC AI stocks as some miners might shift into only HPC AI? We might, but here's the tough part with that. They only would report every quarter or if they had a new customer come up or something like that. So it's going to be hard to track how they're doing, whereas the miners are pretty easy because they provide the information every month, which is fantastic. And I greatly appreciate it, and I'm sure all you guys appreciate it as well. But we can see the progress the miners are doing where it might be more difficult for the HPCI. And then you're kind of guessing, did they get a customer in there? Did they not over the quarter and trying to figure out what they could actually get to potentially? So it's tough. And no, we'll see. Let's see. Question. Hi, Sebastian. Could you please show the cost of mining 1 Bitcoin in each of the companies you cover daily? Thank you. I do have that. Do I have that? I'll take a look. I thought I had that information someplace in my charts. If I do, but it's just an estimate right now. So I'll take a look into it. See, Scott says, hey, my charts show if we hold 63.9 on this current push, we are going to 68. Your analysis, thanks like the show, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of see the same thing. I mean, we're looking pretty good here on the charts, at least what I'm seeing. But I'm not a TA expert here. We'll see. All it takes is one bad news or one good news, and we're going higher or lower. Mark says, if miners go to only HPCI, will you simply stop covering them? If they go to if they're going to stop mining, probably I'll have to stop covering them at that point, because I'm not going to be able to get the data that I want, right? I want monthly data and see how they're doing. We can see how they're progressing. Without that data, it's going to be tough, but we'll see. Let's see. Wolf crossed 40 in November 2021. Will it go that high even this cycle? Possibly, if they have an HPC customer there. If not, that might be kind of tough, especially if they're not going to be growing their self-mining here going forward. We'll have to keep an eye on them. Remember, 40 in November 2021 was basically the peak. When did they go public? I think they went public right around there as well. So that's the reason why they were so high. But they had much, much lower hash rate at that point. What's taking Bitfarms so long to announce 12 exahash? It's been 3 months. What is it, 1 exahash, 1.5 exahash miners that they are getting exchanged out from Bitmain because they were faulty. Those should be coming in this month in September. So they should be getting there. We still have a week left. I'm hoping that they get that in there. Let's see. Robin says, I've been on the buy side of Stronghold. There's pretty good premium built into it. Okay. Let's see. Got to give Riot at least a small spot in the portfolio. Maybe. And I know they're way undervalued, but I need to see operations improve. That's always what's driven me in my decision making as far as which ones I get into, is strong operations, good uptime, all those things. Price target for Cleanspark in 12 months. Bitcoin goes up north of 150,000. I would say Cleanspark should be between like $60 and $70, if not higher, at that point. Okay. Question: December 1st, Cleanspark completes 37 exahash during the bull run. Would it be perfect timing for the stock? Yeah, it would be great. But I'm not sure what the question is. What would be the perfect timing for the stock price? That I don't know. Especially on your worksheet, there should be a table, SBC uptime ratio. What is SBC? Stock-based compensation uptime? Is that what you're talking about? Well, that would be interesting to see. Yeah, uptime, but the uptime is estimated right now. They don't provide like the actual hours that they operate fully or anything like that. I'm basing that based on my own kind of calculations as far as what they could have mined. For how many days would they need to mine basically to get to the revenue that they reported on BTC being mined, if that makes sense. Okay. Hi, Seb. I heard only 2 people currently holding Riot, Chris, Dominator, and me, Sai. You guys might be the outliers, right? Sometimes you need to go against the grain on things. And maybe you guys are right. Maybe I'm wrong on it. Let's see. Thanks, Seb. Any thoughts on microcaps like Soul Strategies, Cypherpunk Holdings? I don't know about those, so I wouldn't be able to comment on those. Let's see. Okay. D. Royce says Cleanspark 80 in 12 months. Depending where Bitcoin goes. If Bitcoin goes past 180,000 to like 200,000, possibly at that point. Right now, I'm thinking between $60 and $70 would be a good bet, maybe. Thanks for the update, Seb. You're very welcome. What else do we have here? Let's see. Any miners that are just criminal low aside from Bitfarms? Criminal low. Riot, Cleanspark right now. IREN as well. Those are really low. Let's see. Robert says, I think we bounced at 68. It's the top of the parallel channel. Nice. Okay. Rick Henry, this is still early. You can buy more and still 5x. Yeah, I think you can still do at least 5x in a lot of these guys. What else? Hi, Sebastian. Hope all is well. Just wondering what is happening with Cleanspark. It's not moving with the same pace like the other miners. I talked about it a little bit in the video. I talked about it in the past as well. I think it's the company increasing the number of shares that they have available to them from 300 million to 600 million. Whenever people see that, investors automatically think, oh my gosh, sky's falling, dilution. They're going to dilute the hell out of me. I'm going to be, the half the value of the share is going to be basically, so original targets were $70 or $60 to $70. Now it's going to be only like $30 because of that. No, that's not the case. It's going to take a lot longer time for them to dilute that, I think. It took them like 200, or no, almost like 3 years to dilute like 200 to 250 million shares. I would expect the next 300 million is going to take probably like 5 to 7 years, if not longer. That's just kind of what I'm expecting because their stock price is much higher. They have much better, healthier balance sheet. They're going to be generating a heck of a lot more revenue with Bitcoin. Their HODL is much bigger. All of those things should be taken into account as well. But, investors see that and they panic. Where do you anticipate WGMI being valued with BTC at 150,000? WGMI is at, where is it at right now? Like 12 something? 19. Oh, it's okay. Much higher than what I thought. $19 at 3x from there. So they should at least cover that. So let's just say 5x, maybe you're close to $100, maybe. Just a simple math on it. Kind of what I would think. And I do have a lot of WGMI in my profit sharing plan, which if it does that, I'm going to be looking pretty there for my retirement. Okay, what else? Ceremony Gaming says we have some very exciting days coming that none of us have experienced yet. Thanks for everything, Sebastian. You're very welcome. Yeah. Let's see. Will IREN have the capacity for CORZ CoreWeave type deal in the future, i.e. at the end of the year, maybe with purchase of those NVIDIA chips? Well, the CORZ and CoreWeave deal is different, right? CoreWeave deal is basically like a hyperscaler or a wannabe hyperscaler. CoreWeave is a wannabe hyperscaler, I guess you could say. They want to provide the same kind of services that Amazon provides, Google, Microsoft, whoever else is in there, Oracle, and others. So that's different from that, where they will put in their own machines into CORZ facilities and just basically lease out the facilities from Core based on that. IREN is going a different route where they're buying the machines, the servers, everything else that's needed to do that, and then they're trying to find customers for that. So it's a different setup on that way. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have the same capacity. I mean, they're talking about 300 some odd megawatts for CoreWeave and Core deal, whereas, I mean, I don't think so. Okay. Robert says, maybe I can buy more miners on one of my old offshore exchanges. It seems like I can only move my money around on-chain or Lightning. Okay, so we're talking about BTC. I hope you guys understand BTC before you buy miners, but I doubt it. I understand BTC. I hope everybody else here does. It's been around for quite a while. Let's see, what else do we need here? We need to break 69,000 and then possibly retest resistance and turn it into support. I think we can see 95 before end of year, but expecting a pullback at the end of December, January. I'm expecting the same thing. A little bit of a pullback. We may reach new all-time high by the middle of December, and then we might have a little pullback. But I think December might still be a green month for us, nonetheless. Let's see. I have a feeling Bitfarms is the dark horse. Why didn't it pop up? There we go. I have a feeling Bitfarms is the dark horse and will surprise the most to the upside. That would be great. I own a lot of shares in Bitfarms, but I just look at them as being way undervalued. Great operations, great growth going forward as well. A lot of promising things for them as well. Let's see. Ullman says, hey, Seb, glad you're feeling better. Yeah, it's allergies. Whatever reason, I had the allergies again this morning. At like 4 o'clock in the morning, I was sleeping. All of a sudden, I got like a tickle in my nose. And then just like a waterfall started coming down my nose and, sneezing like crazy. It's just the stupid allergies this time of year. I get them every once in a while. Even in the summertime, I would get it. I don't know if it's just something that tickles me in the wrong spot in my nose, and off we go to the races. Let's see. Do you think it's strange IREN jumped the day after reporting 20? Let me see. It didn't pop up. The day after 20x instead of the day the news came out. I wonder if more news is coming. Maybe, but they also pumped last time when they increased their hash rate from 20 to 30x by the end of the year. So I think it's just growth, and I think people are just getting more news, right? We also had a lot of the other miners pumping when Bitcoin was down yesterday. That could have been it. So things are maybe changing a little bit for us, which would be good. When do you think the cycle top will be? Gosh. If it's like previous cycles, I'm guessing maybe September, October of next year, somewhere around there. Bitcoin is forefronting miners. 2 months back, for the same Bitcoin price, miners were at least 30% off more than the current price. Yeah, I think you might. Yeah, you might be right there. But eventually, the miners will front run Bitcoin, or they are already right now. It seems like. Let's see. Today, Riot made 15 million, which is 15 million divided by 66,000 per BTC is 234. See my point? Riot is the king. Yeah, but that's if they sell. Depending on when they were buying, depending on their average. So they could have made that. Depending on what their average is. What is their average for Bitcoin shares? Not Bitcoin shares. Bitfarms shares. Okay. Said, why are some miners considered currently overvalued when almost all have tons of upside potential? That is based on the numbers that we're seeing here on the enterprise value compared to like their current hash rate and future hash rate. That's kind of where I'm looking at things, where I might see them as being overvalued potentially compared to others that have much higher hash rate growth going forward. So that's kind of the way I look at those. Robert says my uptime is like 3 hours a day. Let's see. Seb, you come and do my kitchen, I will come up with the cost to mine the chart, Andre. All right. Deal there. Let's see. Chris says Riot will make BTC great again. Hi, Seb. Do you see Riot break $10 while BTC is below 70? Oh, where's Riot at right now? Riot is at 753 before then. That's going to be tough. That will be tough. It just doesn't seem. I think if that's just me. Let me back up. So if Riot provides September numbers that are much better for uptime, and Bitcoin hasn't reached the 74,000 mark yet, then at that point I think it might. But if they don't have great numbers for operational uptime for September, it's going to be really, really tough, I think. Let's see here. How undervalued is IREN right now? I think it should be higher from where it is right now. Let me see here. It's number 4, the most undervalued, along with Hive. But IREN, if we look at their numbers here, where do I have them at right now? Go back here. Okay. I have them between 1074 and 1691. They shoot, and they're at 898 right now. So I do think they're undervalued. They should be at least like close to a double that potentially. That's kind of where we're having it right now. Like 50% higher to like 100% higher from where they should be, really. And that's kind of where I would think. Okay. See, Rick says, investing weekly, plan to keep investing until mid-November, then reassess. I'm sold on this run. Nice. Yeah, I've been buying as much as I can also here recently. I've been thinking about buying maybe even more this week. We'll see. Chris is here, everyone. He had wipe off poor Riot performance yet again today before. Oh, guys, be nice. Chris is just, Chris likes Riot, which is fine. Just a wild question. If BTC gets to 300K, how many X's will miners do? Oh my gosh. I mean, you're looking at that point, was that 5X? So you're looking if the miners do 3X on top of that, 5, so it would be 30X from here, like 20 to 30X potentially. Am I doing math right there? Oh, that would be great. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Seb, do you think in the future we may not see these low prices with miners, even if BTC will go to bear market? No. If we get into a bear market, the miners are going to drop. They're going to drop like a rock like they did last time. Okay, I'm trying to catch up with some comments here, questions. So Seb, if Riot goes down to $5 for whatever reason, would you buy? I think 5 is a steal for Riot. At that point, I would think, yeah, it would be a pretty good deal. A really good deal, actually. I think it's actually a really good deal now if I had conviction that they're going to fix their uptime issues. That's the only thing, like I said before, that's the only thing that's holding me back. At what price will you start scaling out of the miners? Depending where we are in the cycle, where Bitcoin's at, where the miners are at. If the miners are up 7 figures on the miners or something like that, I may start scaling back at that point faster than I probably want to. But I want to protect my profits as much as I can. I know I'm not going to be able to time the top perfectly. So if I can get in or scale out before and after the top, I'd be happy with that. Let's see. Hi, Seb, a different chain of of thought. What if BTC doesn't pump like crazy and starts going up stably like SPY, etc. from here with higher gains? What happens to the miners? Well, that's going to be interesting then, because at that point you have, what we really need is Bitcoin price to escape kind of velocity with the miners and the hash rate. So if Bitcoin price is going up slowly, right, and then you also have the network hash also increasing slowly but still increasing, the miners are going to be in a bad spot, because at that point the hash price per day is going to be steady. You're not going to have that huge jolt to it where we need it to be, north of $80 per petahash to $100 per petahash, even higher than that potentially. So we really need that kind of jolt to really amplify the miners and also provide them with much better profits going forward. So that would be tough. Let's see. Private says, I'm thinking it's probably better to just set it and forget it instead of worrying or spending time each day thinking about my investment in Bitfarms, Cleanspark, and Bitfarms and Ethereum. Do you agree? Well, I wouldn't say set and forget it, because what if you forget about it completely and then you go down in the bear market? So I wouldn't agree with that completely. But you will definitely want to keep an eye on what's going on, but you have to be patient and know that this is going to be a little bit longer game time for it. Right around 12 months is what we're asking, thinking. But that's kind of the way I would look at it. Let's see. Bevneet says, Riot can easily 3x from here with their bet operations. I might have to consider buying them tomorrow. LOL. Yeah, if Bitcoin goes up, 2-3x, I think they will follow suit, even if they don't fix their operations. Let's see. Every cycle, people think that this time will be different. Let me give you a secret. It will not be. If it's not going to be different, I'm going to be all for that. Okay. Pero says, it's the exact market psychology that creates extreme greed and fear. Yep. Imagine our next earnings report, they will expand to 40 exahash. Well, they already have miners they can purchase to 40 exahash if they want to. They possibly could. I read a report by Stock Titan. They have 450 people on site. Yeah, they're working on the site right now. That was in the report that came out, what was it, yesterday? That they reached the 20 exahash. They can hire 150 more to expand quicker. Maybe, but it's just getting the miners in time. And they would have to buy the additional 10 exahash from miners to get to the 40 exahash. If Trump wins and rates keep falling, can we expect plus and expect 100 BTC by end of year? I'm thinking BTC will be somewhere around between 80 and 100,000 by the end of the year. I don't know exactly where. I think I even posted that. I think it might be like at 113,000 by the end of the year, or at least peak there maybe before going back down. But I don't think it matters if Trump wins. It never really matters. No matter what people tell you, that if Trump wins, is going to be, God candles to the end of days with Bitcoin. No, that's not going to happen. Bitcoin has been with Democrats, Republicans. It doesn't matter who's in there. Bitcoin's going to do its thing. We got countries lowering interest rates. That's a boom to risk on assets. We got more and more institutions. Everything is just kind of aligning for Bitcoin right now. Let's see. Will you start taking profits at 100,000? I'll probably will. Slowly, right? About like 5% of my portfolio, something like that. Slowly, as things go up, I'll take 5% here, 5% there. Keep slowly taking out. Let's see. Paras says, I could be wrong, of course, but I think we will see much higher highs, and we will not stay there. We will retrace 75%. My estimate would be 175 to 125 top, retrace, bear market bottom. Okay. That was kind of my original thoughts on it as well. That 180,000 would be like the average where we might get to, and then come back down to like, I had it a little bit higher than you. I had it at like, I think 60,000, 64,000, I think was where we might retrace to. And then process next cycle of 500,000 to 1 million. Wow, that would be great. Cipher price targets, depending on when the time frame you're looking at, this year, next year, what's their hash rate? That's gonna be tough. Let's see. He's giving my best comment. I did. I know what you're going for. 3 hours uptime for your age. Yes, that is very good. I did see it though. Let's see. I'm hearing Riot will have great September. I hope they do. It'd be great. It'd be great for not only Riot but Riot shareholders as well. Let's see. what miners are you buying? I will be buying, if I'm going to be buying this week, it's going to be more Cleanspark, Bitfarms, and IREN as well. What's the current uptime for Bitfarms, Riot, Cleanspark, IREN? Bitfarms, well, we can look at that really quick here on my charts here. Let's see what they were on average last month. Bitfarms last month was operating, let's see here, August, 27 days. Cleanspark was operating for 28 days roughly. IREN was operating for 26, almost 27 days here, and then Riot was operating roughly. This is just a rough estimate on it based on what I could figure out, 18 days roughly on it. Okay. Okay. We talked about that, I think. Cleanspark undervalued. Yes, I believe it is. When will be the monthly updates for miners? Next week. We'll get probably Bitfarms reporting first on Tuesday, and everybody else will be following after that. Let's see. Do you think it's strange Wolf is so strong for so long now? In my opinion, way too overvalued for no hodl and no growth of exercise next year. How big could this HPC new be for Wolf? That's the big question there. You also had two high-profile investors invest in the company because of rumors of HPC. I mean, I will give it to them. They have a great facility there. Can't remember the name right now, but the facility they have in, was it Pennsylvania, New York, wherever it's at, close to the water. They got plenty of water. That's great for cooling data centers, especially if you have a lot of megawatts. And then also the redundancies they might have with power there also is great. So it's a great location. So there could be something there. We just need to hear more about it. But yeah, they haven't talked much up about their own self-mining here recently. So it looks like they're concentrating more on the HPC possibly. Okay. Will IREN start hodling or is it not in their plans? They will need to keep selling to fund expansion plans. It is not in their plans. They view themselves kind of like, gold miners and silver miners and any kind of, what is it? Commodity miners, commodities, I think is what those are called. So I don't see that changing anytime soon, but they said that they are open-minded to it, but I don't see that happening, at least not yet. Is IREN outperforming Cleanspark operations and expansion-wise? They have great what did they do? What did they add this year? 14 exahash already this year, I think. We just look to see what I think Cleanspark this year has outperformed so far operationally as far as growth is concerned. And then when it comes to operational uptime, Cleanspark they're both kind of close to each other. Sometimes it's Cleanspark, sometimes it's IREN, but they're close to each other on that side of things. Pieces around 110 to 130,000 BTC. I'm scaling out of miners. I'm looking right around that, maybe even a little bit earlier than that, 100,000. Cipher says, my main worry is Kamala winning the election and hindering the parabolic move similar to China banning BTC last cycle. Well, that was a different type of event unless she bans Bitcoin mining outright, which I don't think she's going to do. There's just too much money flowing into it right now, and I think there's probably people with pretty big influence, maybe whispering in her ear that, this is the play going forward here. Okay. Any option plays on the miners? Not with me, just buying some more if I can. Let's see. Hi, Seb. Glad you sound better. Feeling excited for our October run? Yeah, I am. And thank you. Let's see. So to be clear, set and forget it for the next 12 months on Bitfarms, Cleanspark, and in my opinion, would be a smart way to go instead of spending time each day thinking about it. I talked about that already. I don't think it's a great idea. You definitely want to keep an eye on things because things can change on a dime here. So it's not something you want to set and forget it. Let's see. Bitfarms price target at 180,000 BTC. At that point, I think that should be probably like $20, if not higher than that. Eddie says, China cut rates and injected over $500 billion into their stock market. China possibly unbanning Bitcoin. Will we easily reach 100,000 by end of year? And Hong Kong has ETFs and even Russia mining. I think, we should get there. I'm thinking, if we look at historically numbers, I did this, was it today or yesterday? I can't remember. But I looked at it where we are right now, where we could possibly end up at. If the historical numbers, averages play out, we could be like at 113,000 by the end of the year. That's kind of where I was thinking. See, Brad says, thanks for your knowledge and expertise throughout your videos. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming in, all you guys and gals. See, your submission only talks about miners being up 3 to 5x when Bitcoin, it's convenient. What? Submission only talks about miners being up 3 to 5x on Bitcoin when it's convenient. I'm being conservative, right? I don't want to be a moon boy. I want to say to you guys, yeah, miners are going up 10x. You're going to be millionaires all. No. Depending when you bought into them, yes, you could be already up 10x, or you could be even up higher at the end of it all. But from here, I would say 3 to 5x conservatively. If you get more than that, that's going to be a nice cherry on the top. Let's see. Update for Mara for last month. I hear they are going to kill this month. For last month, Mara was doing much better. They are doing much better than they have in the beginning of the year, which is good to see. But they're still not that great, but it is getting better. So they were 24.6 days roughly, based on my estimates here for them. So based on all the numbers that I have for them. But it is improving. If you look at, I don't have it here, I think I go back to April. April, they were only at 19 days. They may have looked better, 25 days, 21 days in June, 26 in July. August was better, 24 days, or a little bit less than that. But a lot of the stuff is in Texas. Texas gets hot, so they may have to curtail a little bit there on it. Okay, let's go back here. What else? Okay. SH says, by March 2025, the acceptance of Bitcoin in several countries such as Bhutan, Argentina, and Dubai as legal tender is predicted to raise the price of Bitcoin to 300,000. If that happens, that's going to be a great cycle for us. Let's see. If Riot is operating 18 days, what is it that they are doing for the rest of the 10 to 12 days? They are curtailing and getting energy credits at that point. Okay. Brett says, well, BTC is flat trading sideways. HPCI plays do well. When BTC goes parabolic, should the pure play miners outperform? Yes. Yeah. Eventually, Bitcoin being above 100-some thousand, it's when it's more profitable to mine than it is with HPC business. Let's see. BlackRock and Vanguard bought heavily Mara stocks in last quarter. Are they seeing something? Mara just plays with the big boys a little bit more so than the others. They do these loans and things like that with the banks and the markets, whereas some of the other ones don't do that, right? So I think that's the reason why they're getting a little bit of that. Plus, I'm getting a 50x hash potentially this year as well. Their operations have been improving, so there's a lot of good things happening for them here recently, which is good. Robert says, I think BTC should have gone to 220 last cycle, and it should still go to 750 this cycle. Wow, you're like ultra bullish on this. I was thinking last cycle was going to go up to 100,000, but not 220. It would have been nice if it did, but didn't. So if we get close to 180,000 this year, or get to that, I'm going to be thrilled as heck if it does that. Let's see. How do you think IREN will do at bear market if they don't have HODL or cash to manage the hard times? They may have an HPC customer there, maybe. I mean, they have something there now. So that might also change the dynamics there for them as far as how low they can go during a bear market compared to other companies. I think companies that have HPC AI will benefit from it in a bear market where their stocks might not go as much down in that terms. But we'll wait and see. Let's see. Rick says, Seb, thanks for everything. I have learned a lot from your channel. I appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, that's the only thing I can hope for. You guys learn something from this as well. And I learn from you guys too, so I greatly appreciate it. Let's see. I'm not sure, Seb. She wants to make Gary Gensler chair of the Fed. I don't know. I have not heard that directly from her. I could be wrong on that. I'm not saying that she didn't say that. But that would be a bad move. And I think other people would be against it as well for that one. Let's see. Would you convert Riot where I'm down 40% into Cleanspark? If you're down, so you must have bought Riot within the last couple of weeks, I'm guessing, that you're down 40% in it. Into Cleanspark, would it make sense? Gosh. That's a tough one. The only question I have there, what if they do fix their operational uptime and the stock does do really well compared to where it's at right now? So there's always that thought. And then Cleanspark right now is not performing as well as I would like it to because of the 300 million additional shares being added to it. On top of it, we'll have to wait and see how long it takes for that to kind of wear off that news. But it's tough. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that one. I'm staring at it right now, and I'm thinking about it. I just don't know. I'm trying to think what would I do if I was on 40%. If I was on 40% on Riot and I had high conviction in it, I probably would have been buying more into it as the stock was going down. Same as I did with Bitfarms, Riot, or not Bitfarms, right? Bitfarms, Cleanspark, and IREN. But that's just my mentality on things. If I have high conviction in something like that, so yeah, I don't know. Okay, can CORZ really keep going? Where are they going? Can CORZ really keep going? Is their production that great and tech? The production is great. They have all their machines, though they need to get those swapped out. But the big thing for them is the deal for 12 years. What is it? 6.7 billion, and then profits gonna be like 4.7 billion. So that's why it's going. Can you name the top 3 miners in order? Based on growth and everything else, I would say Cleanspark, IREN, and Bitfarms maybe. But that could all change. Private says it's hard to be patient and just do nothing, but Warren Buffett once said that the biggest mistake people make in investing is thinking just because they can buy and sell with liquidity that they should. Yeah, exactly. Be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. That's kind of the mantra that I've tried to live by. And also it's timing the market and not timing the market. Okay. Matthias, good morning from Finland. Good morning. Let's see here. I'm going to butcher this. I'm pretty sure. Yiji just became a member. Thank you so much for becoming a member. What else we got? I'm trying to catch up on the questions. Okay. Mark says, Mara has been offline periodically for upgrades from air to immersion. So they have outperformed last month with downtime. Okay, that's good to know. What else? Okay. Can Mara hit 50 to 60 if Bitcoin hits 100,000? That would be 2x. It would be close. It would be close. Let's see, my average ride price is around 11. Do you think I can 4x my investment to get to 44? I think if they fix their operational uptime, then I would think so. Then you should be able to get there. If they can't do that and they still curtail like crazy all the time, then that's going to be tough. GR says, my stock portfolio sends regards to you today, Seb. Hope you're having a good day. But yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Seb, what's your thoughts on potential BTC run going into election? No doubt if Harris wins, it will stun the growth for Bitcoin this cycle. Will people selling leading into a potential Harris win? No, I don't think so. Look at the previous cycles as well when we had elections, right? The Bitcoin bull cycles kind of coincide with the elections anyways, if you look at those. So you can see it last time when Joe Biden won, Bitcoin went up regardless, and he's been actually pretty against Bitcoin with all the things that they wanted to do to tax the miners. There's a bunch of other things that they wanted to do, but none of it got through. So I don't see that being a hindrance to Bitcoin going up in value. We've had, like I said before, Trump in there. Bitcoin did great. We had Democrats before that as well. Bitcoin did great. So I just don't see it as an issue. It's not just that Bitcoin is a US-based entity. It's a worldwide entity. You can look at it also that way. Richard says, I'm worried that eating pets took priority over BTC policy. Not discussed the debate. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Okay. When do you think the Bitcoin miners will peak? I think they will peak before Bitcoin does, and it's probably not going to be until sometime around this time next year. Para says, guys, if you're down and have conviction in your play, add more. Absolutely, I agree with that. see. Andre says, pump the likes up. Need another 31. Oh, to get to 100? That'd be cool. Thanks. Yeah, if you can, hit the like button. Par says, if you don't have conviction, cut your losses and rotate. Okay, yeah. Now is the time to do it when you're not when you're at 150,000 BTC. Yeah. Ever heard of anyone getting in trouble for trading too much in their TFSA? Asking for a friend. Wink, wink. Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, I don't know what the rules are for that one, but I don't think so. Okay, when will you start scaling out of the miners and stay cash? Like I said, probably with Bitcoin being above 100,000, that's when I'll start slowly getting out of them, like 5% here, 5% there. Okay. Okay, if you choose only one stock at the current prices, which one will you pick? At this current prices? Oh, gosh. I would have to probably go with Bitfarms right now. Given what they have going planned for them and everything else and where the stock is, where I think it should be at least 2x from where it's at right now, I would go with Bitfarms probably. Okay. What else? What should our vote be when Bitfarms asks shareholders for the 6th board seat? I think we should deny, given Riot will demand it. I'm going to be voting against it. I mean, but it's up to you guys. If you guys own both of them and you see something good in that, that's completely up to you. Roger says BTC looks like it wants to break out. Actually, Bitcoin, where's Bitcoin right now? Bitcoin's actually, what am I looking at here on the 1 hour chart? On the daily, maybe, we'll see. Okay. See, Sour Melon Gaming says, I bought so many dips, I'm living like I'm about to lose my house. Yeah, invest only what you're willing to lose, right? Don't invest more than what's going to keep you from not having a house or something like that. But yeah, I've been buying as much as I can also. What would be market cap of BTC if it touches 180 USD? Who has that kind of money? Nation states, institutions, BlackRock. There's still a lot of very, very wealthy people out there in the world that are going to be looking for a place to invest and, get a nice return on it. Especially companies or countries that have a lot of inflation happening still for them. Okay, let's see. Last question for me, Seb. What is the most undervalued pure HPC play with the most upside? The only ones that I know are the miners right now. So I would say that would be probably Core, potentially. Core and maybe a bit digital, and it's not really a pure HPC play either. Gosh, I don't know. I'd have to look into what the other plays are. CoreWeave is not public yet. CoreWeave might be kind of interesting when they do go public, but I wouldn't buy the IPO maybe because the IPO is usually like exit liquidity for everybody else. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there really isn't a pure HPC play with these miners though. Okay. What price would IREN reach when BTC is at 100,000? You're looking at roughly 2x on that. They should be like 3 to 5x from there. BTC will go up to 269,000. Wow, that'd be great. Let's see. High sub ATM offerings have been killing Mara, Cleanspark. Your opinion on it? There is a little truth to that, but also when you look at it from where Cleanspark came and where they grew to, being like the second largest as far as hash rate, they were second largest in market cap too, just a little couple months ago. But as long as it's accretive, I think Mara has been diluting, but they've been also diluting just to HODL as well. I'm not a big fan of that. They were selling a little bit here early this year, late last year as well. Marathon, that is. I was in favor of that. But I just don't like companies when they just hodl everything on that. So I don't know if that's the reason why. Marathon, Cleanspark is the additional 300 million that's being added right now because when you saw the stock run up to $24, doing really great after they announced that they were done with the ATMs, that they were fully funded to 21 exahash and stuff. So you saw that late last year, this time around. Remember how that did really well? So I'm okay with ATM dilution as long as it's for accretive growth. Okay. Let's see. ChatGPT needs multiple 5 gigawatt data centers. Demand for HPC is off the charts. They don't need multiple 5 gigawatt data centers. That's gigawatts. Are you kidding me? That's too much. Let's see. What are the break-even BTC prices for Cleanspark, Bitfarms, and IREN? We'll look at that maybe tomorrow if there's nothing else. But I have to pull that spreadsheet up. Let's see. This election is categorically different. Crypto has not been mainstream enough to catch the attention of presidential hopefuls. BTC growth this cycle will be stunned with Harris. I mean, you're free to think that. I don't think that. Let's see. Your Ben interview will be good tomorrow for Bitfarms. Yeah, is that tomorrow with Bryce and Anthony? I think. Yeah, that'll be an interesting interview to check out for sure. All right, we are past. Wow, we've been going for longer than an hour. Okay, it's almost 10:45 my time, so I gotta finish this up, you guys, and then we'll chat some more tomorrow. See what happens tomorrow. Where's my screen overlay? There it is. All right. So good days for Bitcoin so far and miners, which is nice to see. We'll keep the green background and going until we get a red day on the miners, possibly. But in the meantime, we'll see where things end up at. We're still early. October is happening here in a week. That should be a fun time. November should be a fun time as well. And then December is going to be maybe a little bit more mixed, I think. Okay. But that's it. Hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for coming in. Love you all for coming in here. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.